Assalamu alaikum. My name is Salman Mahmoud, and I'm a filmmaker based in St. Louis, Missouri. And behind me is my good friend named Blue. I began working on this project with a simple idea: a world that sits on top of a whale. From there, I wrote a feature-length script that I still plan to make one day, but I knew it just wasn't feasible to produce just yet. So I decided to take one scene that truly captured the relationship and dynamic of the characters and build a short film around it called Boy and the Whale. So yes, it is a proof of concept, but also a beautiful standalone film that tells a story that needs no sequel. I'd like to use this grant to properly execute the production and post-production to make this the film that I know it is. So what's it about? As mentioned, the story takes place in a world that sits on top of a whale. Now, no one can see the whale or prove its existence, but the concept is the backbone of society's culture and the core component to many people's religion. But with the whale slowly submerging more and more every day, water levels begin to rise and land becomes more and more valuable. Which brings us to our lead character, Ben Wolf. Ben is what they call a real estate landman, whose mission is to purchase all the houses on Pearl Beach Street in order for a commercial development to succeed. Yet even at the beginning of the film, Ben shows a visible conflict when facing the ethical dilemma from his line of work. For he knows that with land becoming more valuable, the neighborhood of once homeowners now find themselves living on the streets of Pearl Beach County. Arriving at the slums he's now purchased, Ben shows a peculiar interest towards the whale mural painted on the alley wall. For although the people of Pearl Beach Street may have lost their homes, forced off their land, and pushed closer and closer to the water, they also remain the most faithful, that Blue, the whale, will not forget them. Among those pushed to the street, Ben meets a young boy named Faris. Ben is initially not very invested in Faris until he realizes the boy might be wiser than his appearance suggests. You see, Faris claims that Blue, the whale, wants to speak to Ben and that he should follow Faris down to the beach. And as far-fetched as that claim may sound, Ben is everything but surprised by the idea. The two quickly bond in their battle of the wits until they finally arrive at the majestic ocean view. It's here where Faris realizes that they have more in common than he thought. You see, Ben reveals that he also came from a life of struggle, but swore to escape the water and never live that life again. From there, the characters finally find a wedge in their relationship as Ben begins to blame Blue for the hard life he had to escape. And Faris realizes that in Ben's devotion to never suffer again, he would justify the suffering of another. The film ends with Benjamin Wolf driving off, abandoning the people he's unhoused, the faith in Blue he's clearly forgotten, and the past he's once lived. Ben drives away without any remorse as he leaves Faris and the whale behind him. Now at this time, you're probably wondering, how does this relate to Muslims or the Muslim themes? It's a fictional world with fictional characters and a fictional religion, but I intentionally wanted it to be that way. I wanted to paint a picture that seems arbitrary until you start to resonate with one character or another. The question this film is intended to ask you is, do you affiliate more with Ben or with Faris? With the colonizer or the colonized? With Israel or with Palestine? I believe I deserve this grant because I didn't wait for a grant to tell my story. I didn't wait for a grant to paint my picture. I believe that as a Muslim filmmaker, Muslim stories and Muslim storytellers need to be at the forefront of the entertainment industry. And waiting for money to prove we have rich stories is just not an option. With that, I hope to prove that I have the work ethic and talent that ISF is proud to partner with in our mutual goal to shift the Muslim narrative. I thank you for your time and consideration, and inshallah, only success for all of us in our efforts. Thank you.